Right, in this video we're going to do some examples of solving linear equations. So the goal here is to get x on one side. A lot of times teachers say isolate the x, get it by itself. So we want the x on one side and the numbers on the other. To do that, all you need to do is the opposite operation. Let me illustrate. So here we want x, we could take x to the left or x to the right. It doesn't matter. I'm going to subtract 2x, but we could subtract 6x, all right? I could add 5 to both sides. I could subtract 15. It doesn't matter which one you do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 15 over to this side. So what do? You just do the opposite. This 15 is added to 6x. The opposite of adding is subtracting. So we subtract 15. Now, if we do something to one side of an equation, we got to do it to both sides. Why? Because an equation is like a balance. If I take 15 pounds off this side, the weight's going to do this. But if I take 15 away here and 15 away here, it's going to stay balanced. So that's the reason why we got to do it to both sides. So now we do our arithmetic. So we have 2x minus 5 and a minus 15 is a minus 20. Over here, 15 plus negative 15 is 0. 0 plus 6x is just 6x. Now, 2x, we need to get to the other side. This is a positive 2x, so the opposite of positive is subtracting 2x from both sides. 2x's, take away 2x's, you're left with 0x's, and 0 minus 20 is minus 20. 6x's, take away 2x's, leaves us with 4x's. Now, the question is, what do we do to get x by itself, or to get x isolated? We got to get rid of the 4. What do? Well, this is a multiplication, 4 times x. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we divide both sides by 4. Again, you always do the opposite operation. In math, that opposite operation is called the inverse operation. But anyways, let's do the opposite. So 4 over 4 is 1, and 1 times x is x. But usually we say they cancel. But that's what we mean by canceling, is we get 1 times x is x. Here we're just dividing. Negative 20 divided by positive 4 is negative 5. So our solution is x equals negative 5, or negative 5 equals x. Now we could check that. I'm not going to take the time to do it. But if you plug in negative 5, here's our original problem, plus 15. If I plug in negative 5 for x and then work it out, both sides will equal each other. I'll do that this time. So to check, plug in our answer, which was negative 5. Plug that in for x. And the two sides should be equal if it's the right answer. So we get negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15. This is negative 30. Negative 30 and a positive 15 is negative 15. These are both equal to each other. It checks, so that is the correct answer. You should check all your answers just to make sure. So now over here, let's say we want to solve this. Well, we know in algebra from earlier videos, we've got the order of operations breaks down. So in order to get rid of the parentheses, we got to distribute. So let's do that on both sides. We get 2x plus 18 minus 4. Here we get 3x minus 12 plus 8. Now at this point, you've actually got a lot of things you could do. I could add 4 to both sides or subtract 18. But to make things a little simpler, let's simplify both sides. Now keep in mind, simplify what's on the left side and simplify what's on the right side of the equal. Don't try to add anything together here. So looking on the left side of the equal, 18 minus 4, a positive 18 and a negative 4 is a positive 14. Negative 12 plus 8 is a negative 4. So I simplified. Now we got to move the x's to one side or the other. You could subtract 3x, or I could subtract 2x. I could subtract 14 from both sides, or I could add 4. It doesn't matter what you do, you just got to pick one of them. I'm going to start with the x. Again, you could subtract 3x or 2x. I'm going to subtract 3x this time. Okay, if you subtract 2x, you're going to get a positive x. But let me subtract 3x because it doesn't matter. 2x and a negative 3x is a negative 1x, or negative x, plus 14. 3x's take away 3x's is 0x's. Or we say they cancel because 0 minus 4 is minus 4. Since I took the x to the left side, I need to move the numbers to the right side. The opposite of adding 14 is subtracting 14. These add up to 0, and where 0 plus negative x is negative x. These add up to negative 18. Now we aren't done, because we want to know what x is, not negative x. So keep in mind, then this negative x is really the same as negative 1x. Yeah, negative 1 times x is negative x. This is a multiplication, negative 1 times x. The opposite of multiplying is dividing by negative 1. Negative 1 over negative 1 is positive 1. Positive 1 times x is x. Negative 18 divided by negative 1 is positive 18, and this is our solution. Now you should go back and plug it in to make sure you're right, just to guarantee it. But that's the idea of solving linear equations.